To senior White House correspondent Jackie Heinrich, fresh from the White House briefing. Hi, Jackie.
Hey, Martha. There have been a lot of headlines this afternoon, including one from The Guardian that claimed that the U.S. military has doubts about whether the bunker buster bombs could get the job done, and further claiming that only a tactical nuke maybe could finish it. And it further stated that the president is not considering a tactical nuke, that it was not one of the options that was presented to him. I was just told by a top official here that none of that report is true, that none of the options are off the table, and the U.S. military is very confident that bunker busters could get the job done at Fordo. The president is giving...
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I can confidently tell you that we're starting to see more of the vision of the battle lines that's being drawn over this Israel-Iran war when General Flynn comes out and General Flynn starts to speak. Now, for those of you who don't know, General Flynn and the Flynn family and quite a few other generals were the ones that recruited Donald Trump to go into office. And so I hear all the people talking like Tucker Carlson and bada bing, bada boom. When I hear the Flynn family start to speak, I want to see what's being said. And then General Flynn comes out and says, don't lose focus on why you were elected. Stay the course. Reject the war with Iran. And there's a lot of posturing going on at this point in time. Yesterday, Donald said, I'll make my decision in 2 weeks. Then yesterday, yesterday Fox News reported Trump considering using a nuclear bomb, which was dumb because that just showed the hand, right? Like Trump ain't about dropping no damn nuclear bomb on Iran. It's clear. He ain't dropping no damn nuke. These don't make no damn sense. But nonetheless, Fox just kind of showed the hand with that one. But for people who don't pay attention, it don't really matter. It's working on them. But if you do pay attention, you'll notice that Fox News showed the entire poker hand.
J.D. Vance is somebody who is advising the president, is in his ear and is in these meetings. Seems to be a very steady hand. Would you advise the president? What would you advise the president right now, given the circumstance with Iran? Would you advise him to strike Iran right now?
No, I wouldn't. I would wait to. The one thing that I know about warfare is that I can tell that the Israelis are on a very methodical and determined campaign, military campaign with a series of objectives, a series of phases, and they're likely into well into their second phase of this operation, of this campaign, from a military campaigning perspective. So I would not. It's kind of like in warfare, Benny, the best plan has the most options right up to the last possible minute. So the president has to have all the options available, and if he decides to use them, he needs to know, when I make that decision, how long is that going to take to implement? When I make that decision, how long is that going to take? So he's got to have the timing and the sequencing and all these kinds of things in mind, and people around him. So I don't think right now is the time. I do, as I look at what the Israelis are doing, because Israel doesn't want army divisions and boots on the ground. What we all want. I want the Iranian people to rise up. And guess what? For those, because they'll listen to this, Benny. The Iranian people know that 50 years of existence under a dictatorship. The other aspect of what Trump's got to think about, and this is where J.D. Vance comes in very handily, it's to continue to pull on the president to make sure that he doesn't lose focus of why he was elected president of the United States. Back to something that you said, a while back there about where there's a nuclear weapon right here in this country right now, right? I mean, and there is. So I think that those steady hands around him, and I would say that Trump's probably one of the most steady because of the kinds of things that he's done. There are times when I felt like, God, I wish Trump would just do this right now, something that he could have done inside the country, right? And that has to do with accountability, but another day. Because right now the steadiness that he requires are those options that I just we've talked about, and he needs to know the timing and the sequencing. So right now I would say hold. I would say no, just hold on that option. Let's see how the Israeli campaign continues to unfold, and let's see what the world is going to do, because NATO is going to try to pull Trump into the war in Ukraine, and what are we going to have? That's nuts. That's nuts. So that's nuts up there what we're doing. And over $500 billion we spent. The Chinese, if with what the Israelis are doing, remember how much oil the Chinese pull through the Straits of Hormuz. And I said it this morning. That's a very devastating thing, as well as the tariffs. So there's some boxing going on here. If you think about a boxer who's in one stance and then changes the stance, right? Trump is able to be that adaptive in his ability because, frankly, the United States of America still has, and that's what I want. That's kind of how I want Trump to think. But I do want Trump to come out to the American people and tell us with some great clarity where parts of his head are, where America needs to be thinking. What are the objectives that he is still seeking, given the mandate that he was given by the American people? You got to keep the troops informed, Benny.
Just as I said, General Flynn comes out to speak, and you get more out of the mouth of General Flynn than you get from any pundit. So he lays out the fact that now we know why the Chinese ship or the Chinese cargo planes were going to Iran, because between the tariffs and the potential closing of the Strait of Hormuz, it causes all kinds of problems for China, which lets us know that China would be willing to come into this war to back Iran for their own best interests. And the next thing that he said that I totally agree with is the fact that Donald kind of needs to articulate what the hell is going to happen. We got troops running around eating steak and lobster, believing they're going to war. I don't know if you've seen any of this footage, but here's some of this footage about the troops believing that they're going to war.
I like a little steak and lobster. You know what that means? We are going to war. To war we are going. I'm gonna eat good now.
Brothers Defect has steak and lobster. How's your steak and lobster?
All right, damn near decent.
How's yours?
I'm ready for war.
We're going to war.
Now I know everybody like to pretend like everything is 3D chess. You know what I'm saying? A 5-dimensional chess. And I would like to believe that it's 5-dimensional chess too, but a 13-dimensional chess. But the same damn thing happened before the Iraq War and the Afghan War. Except for we didn't have social media. But I remember my friends who were in the military saying, "Hey, bro, they feeding us steak and lobster. We about to go to war, dog." Like, what you mean? Nah, bro, every day we getting steak and lobster. We getting some of the best meals we ever had. We about to go to war. Then next thing you know, the news was talking about, had 24-hour coverage of the war every day. So I'm still holding out hope that Donald's going to let Israel do what they need to do and kind of be like the backstop for them. And if they want to put troops on the ground to go raid a nuclear facility in a mountain, go ahead. Y'all go on a nuclear facility like it's Call of Duty, World War or some crap like that. But this talk about nukes and tactical nukes, I don't know. I'm still holding out, guys. I'm starting to get a little worried. And worried ain't even a word, because I'm not worried because Jesus got it all. I'm just starting to get a little concerned because there's so much mixed messaging. But as someone who understands the art of the deal and read the book, you got to have that mixed messaging. But it's enough mixed messaging to actually make me nervous. You know what I'm saying? But if you ever read Trump's Art of the Deal book and how he gets leverage, he follows the book, and he's literally following the book right now. It's just the stakes are so high at this time in the world. But, who else you want negotiating when the chips is on the table and the stakes are high? So, I'm rocking with the person I voted for. If you're going to blow something up, just holler at us, let us know what's happening, let us know the plan, then go blow that thing up. You know what I'm saying? I think the problem right now is everybody's intentionally in the dark, and you got to be in the dark, and then so you can digest the decision and move on with your life. You heard? But if we got to blow something up, we need to blow it up. But we need to do it quick, fast, in a hurry. But I don't want us to blow nothing up. Just like you probably don't want us to blow nothing up either. All right, guys, if you like this episode, do me a favor. Hit the like button. Hit the share button. Hit the subscribe button. Check the notification button. I'll be back in a few hours with some more.